It's time for change.
The first by-election of this parliament, and it's a win for reform.
I could stand here and say opposition parties always do well in elections like this. We successfully defended 3 mayoralties, and of course Runcorn was very, very close. All of that is true.
President Trump marks 100 days in office next week, but new polling shows voters see little to celebrate.
Americans are not buying what Donald Trump is selling.
He is underwater when it comes to the economy, tariffs, and inflation.
That Elon Musk's duties will continue to shrink. And this comes after Trump already narrowed Musk's role after that cabinet clash meeting. You might recall that.
Ladies and gents, and everything in between. Welcome. Pull up a pew, grab yourself a beer. I've just realised I didn't have the music playing. There you go. I've got a little bit of music here. A little bit of music to bring us in, get the atmosphere up. How's everybody doing? Has everybody had a good week? What's the happy haps? Ladies and gents, it is, of course, time for another episode of Aid Thompson and Other Disappointments. People, this Friday night, what's up to the people in the live chat? Should we get the live chat up? Let's say hey, shall we? Who have we got? We've got Zero in the house. We've got Tommy Lee Cadden. We've got Hidden Knight. We've got Richard Marsden. What's up, Rich? Blue Badger. SG. We've got Diz. Diz is hiding around there somewhere. Mojo Sabian in the house tonight. In the live chat. Showing some love. Sarah Davies. Is Hazel in this evening? One of my newer Patreons to join. Alan Watkin is saying hello. What's up, people? Richard Grumpy Git. Hope you are all well. Thank you very, very much for joining me this evening. There's lots to get through tonight. Lots of happenings. Lots of news, current affairs. No end of woe. This week it is it's last orders at the veritable bar of the Titanic. Here every Friday night. It's dispatches from dystopia, isn't it? Is how we like to think of ourselves on this show. Cheers, by the way. It is time once again, just like every Friday night at 7:30, to make sense of the senseless. Join me for the next hour as we reckon with the reckless and reason with the unreasonable. People. So yeah, what's been happening? Sorry, there was no midweek show this week. Everything has just been a little bit crazy, you know. Got 2 kids, got a full-time job. It's all getting a little bit, a little bit crazy, bit full on. But yeah, let's get into it. No end of drama out there in Newsland this week, was there? No end of drama. Elon Musk has basically been off-boarded by Trump. I don't know if you saw that. Mike Waltz also. Mike Waltz has basically been off-boarded by Donald Trump. Imagine being so incompetent at your job that the Trump administration, you're not. You're really not up to the job. Like, how is that even possible? To be so bad. To be too incompetent for the Trump administration. Where they draw the line. Like, that is like drawing, losing a game of Hungry Hippos with Ralph Wiggum or something. That is like being swipe lefted by Shane McGowan. It's like, isn't it? You're too dumb for MAGA. Like, Christ. Am I? Really? I mean, where do you even go from there? You know? Like, is it a sort of a redundancy, retirement situation where, you know, you've reached the bottom, you sort of reach the end of the road, you get exited stage right from Pennsylvania Avenue? You know, is it that sort of thing, off to the retirement? Or maybe they have special homes for people like that. If you get rejected by the Trump administration, maybe you need a padded cell and a few jabs a day. I don't know. What else has been going on? What else has been happening out there in MAGA? The week in MAGA! Guys, what else has been happening over stateside this week? Amazon. Don't know if you saw this earlier in the week. Amazon supposedly threatened to put the price of tariffs, like the impact of Trump's tariffs, they threatened to display that on their products, or some products, on Amazon.com in the United States. So it would say, so sorry you wanted this, I don't know, shower curtain, or, you know, whatever. Sorry you wanted this shower curtain that was $20. But actually now, you know, due to current events, political movements, developments, or whatever, actually the shower curtain that you were going to order for $20 is now $30, because we are all great again, because we're great. It's a great tax, is what it is. All right, okay. Doesn't feel great. Well, it is. It is. That's what it is. It's a Liberation Day tariff, I mean, not a tax. Totally not a tax. It's a tariff. It's your Liberation Day tariff. You've been liberated, is what's happened. Might not feel like it. You've been liberated from a further $10 out of your wallet, out of your PayPal, or whatever. You've been liberated. You're winning. You're great again. Now pay the fucking bill. Pay the bill for your shitty shower curtain that you're shipping in from China, or it is, you know, what's the alternative? It's wet bathroom floors for you, isn't it? It's wet bathroom floors and your dad having another slip and a fall and then having a plastic hip installed that costs way more than $30. Like if it was $50,000 before to have a plastic hip in an American hospital with American surgeons and private healthcare. If it was $50,000 before, what do you think it's going to be now? With all the liberation sprinkled on top. So pay the fucking bill. But yeah, immediately Trump got on the phone with Jeff Bezos. And by the end of the day, Bezos was out here like, no. We totally have no plans to introduce that feature that was being discussed. It was briefed inaccurately. We're not going to put anything about tariffs on there. I mean, some people said it was disappointing, didn't they, to see Jeff Bezos, global CEO of Amazon, to back down so unashamedly fast. But I was more like, you know, this is just what Trump does. These two stories, you know, that came out basically within like 16 hours of each other. Like, this is what he does, right? It's like an embarrassing anti-MAGA story will hit the headlines, right? And in this case, it was the Canadian election. And the Conservative guy in that election up in Canada, Donald Trump backed him versus the Liberal guy, the Liberal candidate, Mark Carney, who Donald Trump disparaged, dismissed, mocked him, called him Governor Carney, didn't he? Because they want to take Canada and make it the 51st state, etc. Just really rude to him. He backed the Conservative guy. He said, make sure you vote for the Conservative guy, blah, blah, blah. And then the Liberal guy won, right? Absolutely smashed it. Turned around a 20-point, losing streak. Turned that around because people just hated Donald Trump. They hated MAGA. They don't want to be gobbled up by the United States. So that is a humiliating defeat or indictment for how the rest of the world sees MAGA, isn't it? That's a pretty humiliating story to see spaffed across the news sites. And they couldn't let that fly, is what I think happened. So instead, they constructed a story that came out very quickly afterwards, very promptly. It was about how maybe MAGA tariffs might get illustrated on Amazon. And then by the afternoon, it's a story about how actually that won't happen. And by 4 o'clock that day, the columns and commentariat have been babbling about Amazon all day, haven't they? And it has cloaked the Canadian business. Not entirely, obviously, but it's just enough for your Breitbarts and your Newsmax and your Tucker Carlsons to be like, oh, did you hear the thing about Amazon? There you go. Dead cat. Done. Capture the narrative. Flood that zone. And it's not the first time he's done this, is it? Because there was the Russia probe. And immediately afterwards, he tweets out that Covfefe thing. And everyone was like, oh, what did he even mean? Does he mean coffee? Was he going to type conference or something and he misspelt it? Or everyone's talking about Covfefe. Oh, look at this idiot with his fat, chubby fingers. He can't even tweet properly. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone's talking about Covfefe. Nobody was talking about the developments with the Russia probe. That's example 1. Example 2, the actual Mueller investigation. That was all bubbling up. Key developments were exploding. What did he tweet out? He said he was going to ban trans people from the military. That morning is when he just went, yeah, do you know what? I'll tweet that out. Job done. Dead cat. Flood the zone. In his first term, when he was first in office, there was a new border patrol policy that he was announcing. It was supposed to be a big thing. Nobody was really interested in it. It sounded kind of stupid. It fell flat. And so then, to get off of that, the embarrassment, the humiliation, the anti-MAGA narrative, he starts tweeting out racist nonsense about the squad, right? And there's another one. I could keep going all night. There's the criminal trials that were heating up. Do you remember that? The Stormy Daniels stuff, the Trump organization, the $400 million fine. The same day that all of that was bubbling up, he was like, immigrants are eating the pets. Immigrants are eating the dogs. Suddenly we're all talking about immigrants eating dogs. Dead cat, flood the zone, every time. And it's like, this is why he's so impervious to attack, isn't it? It's because every time he fucks up, every time there's a misstep, every time a lie is exposed, or he makes a mistake, you go to highlight it. You expect it to be all across all of the newspapers or all across all of the networks, the websites. You go to highlight it, and he's already done or said something else that's completely insane, and then we're all over here. We're all following the dead cat instead. This is his jam, guys. Same thing with the Amazon story versus the Canadian result. Something comes out, it's a little bit negative, a little bit anti-MAGA. He's straight over here saying something crazy, doing something weird every time. Please look out for it. Because honestly, you could release footage of Donald Trump burning the American flag while devouring an eagle himself, dancing for Putin. You could find that footage. You could release that footage. And by 3 o'clock that afternoon, it would be in the archives because the front page of all of the news sites would just be like, Donald Trump appears to refuse to shake hands with an African-American man. Like he'd find some way to dominate and gobble up the column inches. I promise you. But it doesn't work in the opposite direction, by the way. I'm sorry to tell you. It doesn't work for the left, if that's what you were thinking. You know, sometimes it can be tempting to take the right's tactics and strategies and think, yeah, well, why can't we do that? You know, but I'm sorry to tell you, it doesn't work for us on the left. Like if Labour get in trouble, if there's an anti-Labour narrative that explodes, like maybe it's a day that the Home Office are releasing figures or, you know, whatever, like maybe they failed to reduce net migration again or something, right? And if Keir Starmer looks at that story and he goes, oh, Jesus Christ, maybe we could trump this. Maybe we could dead cat this. Maybe we could flood the zone. Keir Starmer comes out and appears to refuse to shake hands with an African-American. It would be a resignation by 3 o'clock that afternoon. I mean, I suppose in a way it would still, like it would carpet bomb all of the coverage. We would be talking about it, but it's not really the same end result for us on the left. This is a strictly right-wing benefit, I'm afraid. Like so much of the right's benefits and privileges, it is something that is only to be enjoyed exclusively by them. It's like, no football for trans women. No, we like football. It's just for us. No work from home for you, plebby. No, that's only for your betters. And the ability to distract from your folly with more undiluted awfulness. That also is a right and a privilege, only to be enjoyed exclusively by the right. Another thing that's rarely enjoyed by anyone outside of the right, the political right, that we've touched on before, guys, is conspiracy theories, isn't it? It's familiar, fertile ground for us on this show. It's an area of discussion that is, enjoyed, spread, perpetuated, fired out, spaffed across the wall, mostly by the political right. Conspiracy theories. Now, a few weeks back, you may recall that we were looking at, I keep saying the political right, it's the Crayola right, is my new way of referring to them. Well, a few weeks back, we were looking at the Crayola right's penchant for weird and wonderful conspiracies, you will recall, from 5G to lab leaks to two-tier policing and so on. And we looked at them and we laughed at them because it's like, they dream up these fantasy nightmares is what we characterized them as, that they then choose to inhabit and be terrified in, rather than just join us over here in objective reality. And on that episode, we used it as an opportunity to dream up a new left-wing conspiracy theory. Because why not, right? It's kind of, here I am contradicting myself because a minute ago I was going like, you see what the right do and then you try and do it. Why can't we do that, right? Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can, guys. So we took it as an opportunity to dream up left-wing conspiracy theories. Like if they can just make shit up and choose to be terrified by it with these fantasy nightmares that they keep dreaming up. exploiting their followers and their viewers' gullibility, then why not us too? You know? If they can make up fantasy nightmares, conspiracy theories, if they can make political hay, guys, while the sun shines, then why not us too on this podcast? Why don't we meet them on their own terms? Guys, it's what we were asking just a couple of weeks ago. You know, and some people like it. Don't stoop to their level. Aid? Come on. You're a left-leaning, articulate, intellectual, bloody titan is what you are, Aid. Don't stoop to their level. We're on the left. We're all about logic, compassion. Don't stoop to their level with their conspiracy theories and their fantasy nightmares. They go low. We go high, Aid. A lot of people were like that. And I was like, where have you been? Where have you... Like, the days of civil debate and facts and experts are gone. It's just... God, it's over. All of that is in the past now, I'm afraid. And also, do you know what? Don't act like I don't have, you know, I've got too much integrity. It's like I'm sat here in a t-shirt that says your fucking dad's balls on it. So anyway, look, we dreamt up a conspiracy theory a few weeks ago. It was a conspiracy theory of kid farming, you might recall, which a few people on BlueSky got a little bit upset about. You know, they were like, this is really insensitive. This is really insensitive, Aidan. It does nothing for political debate when you reduce it to this level of cartoon misinformation, Aid. And honestly, just leave me the fuck alone. I don't care. I don't care. I'm done with the sensible logic. It's just, no. If you need Newsnight or the news agents or Question Time or something, fucking have at it. I'm done. I'm just here for the fun now. My faith is on the floor with regard to, you know, whether I think there will ever be an open, honest debate in UK politics ever again. You know, I think those days are just over now, aren't they? It's just too polarized sides just getting more and more amped up, either side, on the left and the right, more and more just frenzied by echo chambers and each other as well, like they derive this sort of mean-spirited pleasure from how much they agree with people within their own tribe, and they just eat in each other's shit and then shit it out to the next person in the tweet thread, who then gobbles it up and then shits it out to the next person in their tweet thread or on the Telegram chat or whatever. It's just two fucking simultaneous, polarized human centipedes is what it is, living in two separated ballrooms in the same hotel. That's what it is. That's where we're at now. And Christ, you know, these two gigantic human centipede parties on the opposite sides, the polarized sides of like the Shining Hotel or whatever, are just slowly amping each other up with those echo chambers, with each other, into this weird, self-radicalizing, slowly dividing more and more based on more and more things. Like, I was thinking the other day, right? Sorry, and I'm going all over the place tonight. I was thinking the other day, maybe we'll get back to kid farming in a moment. I was thinking the other day, like, where does the division end? You know? Where does the division actually lead to? And I don't even mean in a, first they came for the gays and I said nothing for I was not gay kind of vibe. I mean, the division, like the targets, the division that they will go for. Like, where does that end? How far could you actually take that? You know, like if we if we really wanted to Keir Starmer this, you know, if Morgan McSweeney really wanted to out-Farage, right? Then maybe we should, like, take this and run with it. If not for any other reason than just to illustrate how unutterably ridiculous it all is, right? Like Reform's Lee Anderson was saying a couple of years ago that the next election would be fought on the culture war and the trans debate, wasn't it? He's on camera saying that. So obviously it's a tactic to divide and to oppress. And like, you can divide based on trans, right? You can target the trans people. You can divide based on Islam. Is another one of Neanderthal's favourite things to focus on. What with his, Sadiq Khan's giving away London to his Islamist mates, or whatever that comment was. You can divide on the traveller community as well, whom he mocked and disparaged back in the day when he was a Labour councillor. But I say, if you want to take on Reform, where he currently resides, we still don't know where he's going to end up next. He's, defected from Labour to the Tories and then defected from the Tories to Reform. My money's on the Greens. But if you say you want to take on Reform, Keir Starmer and Morgan McSweeney, maybe you do have to beat them at their own game. So maybe we just take this divide, like, not trans. We're not going to start dividing by Muslims. We're not start dividing by the traveller community. Like, maybe we need just to amp it up a few more levels. You know, beat them at their own game. Take it and run with it. Maybe we start dividing Britain by hair colour. Like, get me Labour comms in here right now. Get me whoever is writing Labour's policy and dealing with Fleet Street. I want full-page spreads in the Express and the Telegraph, guys. I want Morgan McSweeney, Keir Starmer writing guest article, op-ed things like, I hear you. I hear you about these blonde heads, these yellow heads, these Northern European fifth-generation immigrants. You're right. Do you know what? You're right to have concerns about the cultural impact they place on British society. Should a yellowhead be allowed a place in a school ahead of your indigenous British child? Should they? I mean, it's okay. It's okay to have concerns about that. It's okay to worry about the pressure that they might be putting on our health service. Guys, when these yellow-headed scandies, I guess they are, with their fairer, near-translucent skin, when they set foot outside and get skin cancer or whatever. I mean, look, we are a welcoming nation. People, of course we are, with a proud tradition of welcoming people in to the United Kingdom. But you know what? I don't think it does anyone any favours to dismiss us as racist when we're just saying, look, we can't afford everyone, or to fund all of the yellowhead skin cancer treatment when there's great British normal heads over here who might be generationally at the front of the queue. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's upsetting, but look over there. Donald Trump's burning a flag and eating an eagle. Okay, so I mean, I think there's something in there, isn't there? I think that's an interesting campaign strategy. You know, like, Labour did lose the Runcorn By-Election as of about 5 o'clock this morning. And yet, they were trying to appeal to Reform voters. Have all these concerns about immigration and asylum, and they obviously love it, Lee Anderson, because, he doesn't like travellers and he's anti-trans and this, that and the other. They're obviously very comfortable with division. You know, so if Labour lost Runcorn because they weren't reform enough, all I'm saying is if you want to out-Farage, start disparaging, oppressing, and persecuting the Brits based on their hair colour. Come on, man. How bad do you want it? You know, some people are saying, you lost that by-election, Labour, because your bread and butter voters fucked you off for being like reform. You know, all those articles in the Express and the Telegraph trying to appeal to their base instincts, their xenophobia, fucked off your normal, everyday Labour voters. They don't want a part of that, and so they left you. And that's why you lost Runcorn, was actually because you were being too much like reform. That's what some people are saying. I'm saying, and I suspect Morgan McSweeney, chief strategist of the Labour Party at the moment, I suspect Morgan McSweeney will say, no, actually, it's because we didn't go far enough. I like the cut of this Thompson guy's jib. Divide them up by hair colour. Put them into camps. No, that's probably too far. So yeah, I think that's where we need to go, guys. Forget trans and travellers. Vote Labour 2025. Round up the yellowheads. All right. Anyway, what was I talking about before? I said I was going to get back to it. Conspiracy theories. That was it. So we dreamt up kid farming, right? A couple of weeks ago. It was 2025's hottest new conspiracy theory. The first of many left-wing conspiracy theories to take the Wild West of the internet by storm. That was our idea the other week. Our idea, nay, fantasy nightmare. Which was essentially, the nuts and bolts of it, were that Kemi Badenoch and Nigel Farage are secretly engaged in farming human babies in an effort to solve the baby shortage, which would address then our labour shortage, so as to ultimately service the ageing population by way of making these babies then grow up to work in great British sweatshops, right? It's a conspiracy theory, but it's real. I'm sure that it's real. Kid farming, guys. Tell people about it. Tell your friends. Fuck it, tell your enemies. Silence is violence. But I'd like to give you an update now. Let's check back in on our conspiracy theories tonight of sorts. Sort of an update. Tonight we take a little delve back into the 5G, kid farming, QAnon ecosystem to see what else is going on in that arena. Because some of you will be aware of so-called free speech ultras, right? The independent right-wing journalist types over in the States, people like Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro, Alex Jones, etc. Well, Candace Owens is another one who fits effortlessly into that realm. Candace Owens. Don't know if are you guys familiar with her? Do we know who Candace Owens is? But I noticed just recently, she's come out with a load of right-wing nonsense over the years. And she sort of blew up from being on, I think, Joe Rogan's podcast. That's not going to surprise anybody, is it? But I noticed recently, observing her, that there is a new fad in town, guys. In right-wing circles. Like, conspiracy theories are the trend, obviously. QAnon, election rigging, 5G, lizard people, you get the idea. Pizzagate. Have we had any over here? Yeah, I can't remember now. Is it all mostly American? Oh, anti-vax is, another one. Like conspiracy theories broadly, they are the trend. But the trend within the trend now is, like in right-wing content circles, is to take someone horrendous, Take someone horrendous and then ask if they're actually innocent. Maybe they're innocent. I don't know. Like, that is the new trend. That is the new conspiracy theory within the conspiracy theory trend. Guys, take someone horrendous and just ask. Just ask if actually they're innocent. Are they? I don't know. Who knows? Do you know? Have you got any evidence to suggest that they might be innocent? No, I don't. No, I've got no evidence. I'm just asking. What if they are? Like, that's the new trend. And I first noticed this, like, weirdly over here. I noticed it with some of the Lucy Letby stuff. Because at the time, Lucy Letby was arrested, and I think she was in the run-up to the conviction or something. It was quite a while ago. But these reports came out that she had written a post-it note saying that she herself was evil and that she had done it and all of this stuff. And there was all of these news reports saying that she had had, like, 8 shifts and babies had died on all of them in the same way or something. And then once she was suspended from her job, pending the investigation outcome, as soon as she was suspended, the baby death stopped. Okay, so it's like, it's a bit of a little bit damning. But almost immediately you had these like alt-right types and Peter Hitchings at the Mail on Sunday, a lot of the contrarian, comment types coming out going like, is Lucy Letby innocent though? It's like, I mean, I don't think so, Peter. Is she? I don't know. But is she? I mean, that's the question. I'm a right-wing journalist and I'm not scared of questions. I'm not scared of intellectual inquiry, Ada, nor should you be. Is Lucy Letby innocent? Is she guilty? Do you know that she's guilty? I'm just asking questions, guys. Now, I will say that since then, bizarrely, there has actually been quite a lot of stuff about the science that was used in her trial, that was used to establish her guilt, that some of that science may be actually quite questionable or something. So who fucking knows anymore? But at the time, the verdict and everything that we had read and been exposed to so far, I mean, it seemed pretty cut and dry to me. I don't know. Like, is Lucy Letby innocent? Is she? I was like, that is a weird title for a podcast. That's a strange thing to bother looking into against the backdrop of all of the evidence, all of the reports that we've been told. Is she innocent? Well, okay, you're going to start there. Oh, yeah, okay. Good stuff. What a weird question to ask. Like, aren't there other miscarriages of justice that you should be pursuing first? No? Everything else is solved. Good stuff. So, it started with Letby, and then there's this Candace Owens shit, where she goes on Twitter, and seemingly out of nowhere, she says, Harvey Weinstein was wrongfully convicted. I'm like, what? What are you talking about, Candace? Harvey Weinstein was wrongfully it's a miscarriage of justice. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Wrongfully convicted, was he? Wow. Okay. Really, though? Really? And people fucking watch these things. They listen to it in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. They listen to her come online onto YouTube and Spotify and everything. Join me, Candace Owens, as I ask the important, urgent question, has Me Too gone too far? And isn't the evidence of that this poor, helpless 300-pound slob with 100 different allegations by 100 different women thrown at him, isn't the evidence that Me Too has gone too far, that this 300-pound billionaire sleazeball has been thrown into jail? Like, we need to re-examine this. That's what, it's like 100 women, though, Candace. 100. Well documented. well-established behaviors. 100. And she's like, well, it can't hurt to have a little, like, you know? And she goes on her podcast, and she goes on, like, the promo rounds, promo interviews, and she says, you know, all of this stuff about, like, well, how come 100 women, 100 women, but only 3? Only 3 out of one. Only 3 came to trial? Like, what's up with that? I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, do you know anything about this type of case? And cross-examination? You know, about how it gets whittled down to the final, like, 2 or 3? Like, because there's probably like 90 out of that 100 that were de-scoped by the police ahead of time, by the prosecution. Because they're like, okay, look, here we go. We got 100 accusations, 100 allegations. Well, this chunk of them here, they've passed the statute of limitations, say. These ones over here, the offence took place in a whole other country or like a completely different state. Like we can't charge. We don't have jurisdiction of those things that happened. This lady over here, we do believe her, but unfortunately she is an ex of the judge's brother. So there's a sort of, you know, it'll just get pulled up in the trial and then the whole thing will get thrown. So it's just not worth including her. Like, it's sad. It's depressing. I know it shouldn't be like that. But unfortunately, this is the way that the cards have laid. It just wouldn't look good. So, okay. So that's all of those guys de-scoped. All of those cases put back in the filing cabinet. The other 2 over here are honestly still so fucking traumatized by what they went through. Like, we have a duty of care as the police, as the prosecution, that if we put them on the stand, I don't know what might happen, what they might do to themselves after you have to consider this shit. Then this 5 over here, maybe they refuse to do it. 3 of them, there's not enough evidence, right? It's not beyond the realms of possibility that out of 100, the cops pick the 3 with the best chance of conviction. And Candace Owens is like, well, then how come one of them came back to his room the following night after the alleged incident happened? Like, she's, you know, sowing doubt. I'm like, there are so many instances of this that we've all read about, you know, where women have been in a situation like that. Something fucking terrible happens. And look at the guy that we're talking about. He was massive. Guy's a fucking ogre. He's 300 pounds. Add to that how much power he had industrially and wealth and control. Candace Owens is like, well, would you go back, though, to the place like the night after? Well, maybe you would run a mile. Maybe you would. Or maybe you would be terrified of what he might fucking do to you, of what he was capable of how he would ruin your career. So anyway, I thought, guys, in the spirit of taking what the right do and running with it, over here on the left, just like with two-tier policing, becoming kid farming, just like with taking division and bringing it right down to hair color, I thought, you know what? I could do with a bit of growth. I could do with a bit of, the same sort of podcast numbers that Candace Owens no doubt gets. So I thought, why not try it with the podcast? Why not go full on Candace Owens on a left-wing figure? Not Harvey Weinstein. Find a left-wing figure that's ripe for defense, that's ripe for some sort of conspiracy theory or just asking questions. I'm just asking. What if he was innocent? What if they were innocent? Who is ripe for that? I wondered. And so that is why here tonight, guys, on this episode 369 spectacular, tonight on this episode of the podcast, we are retitling in real time tonight. It is no longer going to be titled episode 369, the Friday night show. Let's get this up, shall we? Hold on. Have I still got a Chrome open? Here we go. All right, here we go. I got it open. Can I edit it while I'm on the thing? Let's see if I can. Oh, fucking hell, I can. Here we go. Right. So, we're going to edit this live in real time. This episode, from now on, let's go Candace Owens with this stuff. I'm just asking questions. Is Harvey Weinstein innocent? We're going to call this one episode 369. Was Luigi Mangione framed? Right? Because fuck it. Like, I mean, we know he did it probably, right? Let me see if I got a thumbnail here I can chuck on. I did make one earlier. Here we go. Happening in real time. So it happened here tonight, guys. Episode 369. Was Luigi Mangione framed? Because, yeah, like, we know he probably did it, right? We know he probably did it. The state know he probably did it. Right? But let's just pick holes in the story. Let's just sow that doubt like Candace. Let's feed the division, guys. Just gulp down the shit. Let me excrete it back out for you. Let's amp up it with the fucking echo chambers and everything here in my ballroom. Was Luigi Mangione framed? He could have been. It might have happened, guys. Because seriously, I mean, it sounds like I'm taking the piss here, but honestly, we may have just stumbled onto a gaping hole in the American judicial system's processes. Because I don't know if you know this, guys, listeners, viewers, people who have jumped over here directly from the Candace Owens podcast, because now we provide such similar content. I have no doubt that YouTube will serve me to all of her subscribers. But I don't know if you know this. But whoever the gunman was, he was obviously really angry with United Healthcare. Because the gunman, again, whoever it was, whoever he or she might have been, they bothered to write the United Healthcare rumoured approach that had been briefed out to the deny, defend, depose. That was a thing from United Healthcare. They bothered to write deny, defend, depose on the bullets, and they shot the CEO of United Healthcare, right? But that doesn't sound like Mr. Mangione. Because, listeners, viewers, Luigi Mangione wasn't ever, this is true, he wasn't ever a customer or a client of United Healthcare. So why would he? Why would he shoot him? He was never a client of United Healthcare. Like, have you ever been angry at a company? I bet you have. At a business? Somewhere along the way? Like, I've been so fucking angry at car rental places before, train companies, restaurants. But I've never been that angry at a restaurant I've never eaten at. That's not how human beings work. Whoever did this must have been really fucking angry at United Healthcare. And he was never a client of United. The gaping fucking hole in the state's case. I've never been so angry at a restaurant that I've never eaten at that I would rock up and shoot the chef in the back. Does that make sense to you, guys? Please. Whoever the gunman was, who shot Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, reportedly must have been very familiar with New York City, because they knew whoever this gunman was, he or she You know, could have literally been anyone, guys. They must have been very familiar with New York City because they knew exactly where he was coming from and to, and the best route out of there, and how to avoid traffic and cameras and get back to the subway, escape undetected. But Luigi Mangione, he's not from New York. He's not. Luigi Mangione's from Baltimore. He's from Maryland. Guys, so none of this is adding up for me. None of this stacks up at all. I'm just asking questions. And shooting people on the street. Guys, shooting people on the streets of New York. I mean, that sounds like the sort of godless savagery that you might expect from immigrant vagrants. You know, from MS-13 members. Maybe, but no, Luigi Mangione wasn't a gang member. There's no evidence to suggest that. Luigi Mangione was a privately educated son of a millionaire country club owner. This is true. I mean, does that really sound like a cold-blooded street killer to you? Please. I mean, yes, he was arrested in Pennsylvania with what the police have suggested was a manifesto, a handwritten document in his bag outlining his hatred of the healthcare industry. But Lucy Letby had it written on a Post-it note. And if Letby's note is going to be ignored, then, you know, I don't know, like maybe it was just an angry letter. Right, like, have you ever written an angry email to a company? I bet you fucking have. I mean, somewhat ironically, or perhaps aptly, I remember when AXA Healthcare over here threatened to not pay for my hearing examination that I had undergone because the condition that I was getting assessed for with the hearing exam was somehow a pre-existing condition. And listeners, viewers, let me tell you, I did write them at AXA Healthcare. I did write them an unashamedly angry letter. I penned myself a little manifesto, so I did. Should I be arrested for murder too? Please, guys. I mean, I think it's obvious to anyone who is willing to be open-minded, who's willing to look at the facts, as Candace Owens would see them, that neither I nor Luigi Mangione could possibly ever be guilty of murder. If not for any other reason, guys, then I mean, it's not like we're untamed, feral fucking yellowheads, is it? Right, that's it, guys. And besides, look over there. Two-tier policing are eating the dogs. Okay, let's wrap it up, shall we? Thank you so much for continuing to tune in. Precious Binfluencer cult members, people of the Patreon, people of the Booge. If you're not a member of the Patreon yet, please do consider jumping on there. It starts at only £1 a month. You cheap fucks. You cheap. I was about to say you cheap fuck pigs. Maybe that's a little bit too hard. But yeah, if you just want to say thanks, if you're enjoying the show and the clips and the paper review and all of that, then do consider jumping on for just £1 a month. It does mean the world to me. It means that it's growing. It means that it's gradually generating more of an income, if only by like literally £1 a month. £3 a month, you get episodes of the podcast 2 days before everybody else. £5 a month, you start getting credited at the end or at the, like in the little beginning bit, you know, where I showed all the Patreon names. And also you get invited along to Patreon meetups, guys. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. Either is fine. Personally, I prefer Patreon just as a like interactive kind of website thing. But YouTube's probably easier for most people. Most people have a Google account, don't they? And they probably bought something on... Anyway, I'm babbling. But yeah, if you join up to the channel, you can come along to the Patreon meetup. That is on Saturday, the 7th of June. So it's just over a month away now. That's crept up. So yeah, Saturday the 7th of June, we're going to meet up in London. Should I drink that day? I'm undecided. I haven't had a drink now since July last year, so maybe I'll just fall spectacularly off the wagon. Maybe I'll do what I did that time in Brick Lane when we all met up and I had one too many tequilas and then fell asleep on the train home and then had to get myself a taxi from Alton. Maybe that will happen again. Good times. But yes, anyway, that's the end of this one. Should we break it down for the lock-in? There's a chance that my son might come in and join us. I've got the super chat thing on. If you want to chuck me any tips or if you want to ask us some questions, then you are, of course, very welcome to do so. But if you're not sticking around for the lock-in, I will catch up with you all for the paper reviews and podcasts next fucking week, y'all. That's it. I'll see you all later. Bye. Right, let's do the lock-in, shall we? Where's the goddamn lock-in? Here comes the lock-in chat. Oh, for real.